Welcome to the today stream. Today I found an old drawing that I made. It's from referencing the character from the Wendy's burger joint. So I redid that character in my style in a drawing, and I wanted to more experience with the 3D programs and stuff. I want to make it better. Also, my idea is to maybe finish her today, but I don't know what will happen. So let's hope for the best. Also, the actual style, this character that you have here, is the actual style that I liked because I tried to make her eyes bigger, but it didn't work very well. But now that I think of it, maybe if I make the eyes bigger, like maybe anime like, and with the anime style eyes. What do I mean with anime style? Is that when you have an anime character, yeah, like this one, the eyes are not eyeballs in the geometry. The eyes are just floating pieces of geometry. And the actual way that you manipulate the eyes is by rotating a bone inside and rotate it from instead of the origin. So let me think about it a little bit and decide what I want to do. Meanwhile, I put some music. And also share the link because I didn't share it. I just uploaded a post. Put it. I'm going to check the audio if you hear an echo. I'm going to check the audio if you hear an echo. Okay, so I think this is better. I lowered the music to like 1% or something like that. Maybe someday someone will tell me how to set up correctly the music, but for now I just play a video. A video from my browser and that's it. But let's move on to this thing. Thinking about it, I'm going to try to do it with the actual anime style character. just for the sake of trying it. I'm not going to delete this one because I maybe change my mind later. This is a quick trick. If you select anything that has a value different than the reset one, the 0, if you hover on the space and click backspace, it resets. It's a very handy tool. Wait, it's so handy that it deletes the actual references. Where are they? Okay, did something that I didn't want. I kill it. They are dead. Where are they? Reference. This girl. I don't know what happened. Well, for start, this is going to be the reference. Let's save it and start moving it. Because this model is already kinda prepared, I have to select the body with normals instead of seams. Select the body, right button, and separate the model. The separation is because I don't want to mess with the interior of the head, the eyes and the mouth. Right now this model doesn't have mouth. I always forget to join the mouth and the teeth. So for now I'm going to go with it and add the mouth, the teeth and the tongue later. This is the head and I have to put the middle as close as I can. Let's see what happens if I start moving the geometry. Connected only and start poking the geometry around until I get the shape from the reference. Ooh, nice music. I like it. My characters are more pointy because I'm only doing one side. When I change perspectives, it's going to look very weird. So I have to be very careful. As you can see, her eyes are very big. Way too big. Let me change. Change to individual origin so I can scale it at the same time. Maybe here. I think it could work doing this instead of the other model because my original thought process was because I didn't knew about how anime models were created, and when I started to create models, I saw how the professional 3D anime models were made, and I discovered that they use this technique of using floating eyes instead of the round ball shape. Because using floating eyes, you can have any type of eye shape very very big eyes because let me show the example. If I put a sphere and show it to the front, a normal eye is like this size, right? This is a normal size eye. Well, in characters, not in real life. If I try to select this part that it's supposed to, let me just to differentiate. I'm going to make it bigger. So the eyeball is extremely big. It's very, very big. And it sometimes conflicts with the middle. So for style purposes, it's better to have it like this. And yes, actually, so far, it's getting where I want to. Here's my water. Okay, let's move on. Actually, it's kinda pointy, not that rounded. And the nose, what if I hide it? My biggest question is how I'm going to do the lips, because the lips, they are like this other character, are very very obvious, very shaped. So I'm going to try to do something like this. And also, now that I'm here, we see extrude without this, and extrude without this. I have to do a symmetry later, but right now just to have my reference of the eyes. And start with the lips. Everything in this step, in this process, is small tweaks, very small movements. Looks like fish lips, but the idea is to have something to work with, and eventually, with more movement, more tweaks, it gets better. Um, Always a good idea is go between modeling and sculpting, so you can tweak between those modes. Let me show the wireframe. It's better to work with wireframe because you see exactly what the tool is moving. And also you can see the monstrosity that you are making. If I go to the front, let me check in reference of the original. Hide, show, hide, show. Okay, it's way bigger than I thought. It's like she was stung by a bee. That's the size of the lips that she has. Maybe I can leave it a little bit smaller because that's an old style actually. I will take my creative uh, decisions. This tool, the pinch tool, makes the geometry go go. I forgot the word. Go, no second. Go smaller between it. Basically it does this. Makes it very tight. It's kind of actually working better than I expected. So I'm happy so far with it. I thought it was going to be a disaster and it wasn't going to work, but so far it's getting there. Actually, in my reference, I don't know. Yeah, she has a very big side eye, but I don't think that's going to happen in here. Not gonna happen, fam. What do you mean generic? If Edo says, is this a generic waifu? It is not. It's a very special waifu for me. How dare you say generic waifu? Don't you see that she has a lot of personality? She 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 sells burgers. That's her personality. And it's a very big personality. Actually, I will select the feet. The way that I'm moving this is by the scroll wheel and kinda moving it until the knees are in the correct place. Instead of moving part by part, it's better to move one side with the follow to the other part that you want to move. Yeah, it's actually kind of the same. I think maybe she looks shorter because she's actually wearing heels in here. So the heels help her look bigger. Burger King. It's not Burger King, it's Wendy's. Burger King is just crappy burgers that don't taste good. I prefer 1,000 times McDonald's than Burger King. Burger King worst burgers in town. Well, at least in my town, they suck. Make her tick. And also her arms are little by little. She is kinda an anime character now that I think of it. But when I first made her, the original model, it didn't look anything like this. Anything at all. It was a nightmare fuel character. I didn't know we have dab and that emotes. This guy. Rotate in X with less. A witch nose and a pixie nose. The difference is in the curvature. There's something that I'm not buying it on the rotation. I don't know why. Maybe have to go into modeling and make her smile a little bit. Maybe. Yes, Pixie nose is best nose. I see you're a man of culture, my friend. I think it's because I can barely see that in this part it's very squarish and not smooth. Doesn't have a smooth transition to the side. And what it's ruining that transition is actually that the eyes are very big. So I have to make a better transition to the side. By the way, everything that I'm doing right now is with the mouse. The tablet, it's solely actually useful when I'm doing deep sculpts and texturing. For tweaking, it's better a mouse because it's more precise. It's smaller movements that are not very hand very hand heavy, if you can say that word. Don't forget to save, it's very important to save every time you can. And I'm going to rearrange these things because I'm moving the model, so the eyebrows and the other details move around. Oh, I forgot to turn on the symmetry, so I'll just move one side and the other moves by itself, by magic. And also, what's the size of her eyebrows? Okay, they are small. Maybe I can delete these ones and rearrange this. Something like that. Oh, no, 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 no. I delete something that I didn't mean to. It's okay. Actually, it's better because I also discovered that instead of doing a floating white geometry like this, delete faces, no, delete vertex. Instead of doing the eyes like that, it's better actually if you extrude the eyes from the center. Very, very small. Make it bigger. And then extrude it again. And then close it. Close, close, close. With... Oh, I can close it like this. Merge to center. Merge to center. Like this. Because that way the eye is inside and not as a separate floating geometry. Because the floating geometry sometimes can be weird and can have errors. But if the eye is one part of the same shape, it's better. Yeah, she kinda starts to look like I want. Okay, turn on this, connected only, G to move, and kinda here. What I need to change is that she only has one wing, and this model has a lot of wings in the eyeliner. Delete faces. That's better. Also, now that I'm on it, I'm going to delete this. And I think delete this. and separate these ones so I can go and mirror it. Let me just finish and close it because it's not good to have it floating. What happened here? Close, close, close. One in the middle and merge. Mark. That's the small correction for the eyeliner, and just continue tweaking. I can barely hear the music now. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. And now for the head, I'll do the same, delete the half and mirror it with merge and clipping turn on, because I already did this half of the eye, so it's cleaner. I think maybe that's it for the body. Now I will move on to the actual clothes. For the clothes I will need the shoes, maybe the socks can be a texture, the dress it's one piece, the ribbons, and obviously the hair. So maybe this time I'm going to start with the hair, just to leave that behind very fast. Hey, what happened here? Okay, that's fixed. I moved something that I didn't mean to. An illustration stream, I can do that, but I'll have to check with what style do you want for the commission, because if it's a realistic one, it will take me a lot of time. individuals. Okay, now with the hair, as always, I'm going to go with the curve Bezier, curve circle, curve Bezier technique. The idea is to move it to the front, then to the top, select one curve, and edit this curve to be our hair curve. This is going to be hair, this is going to be taper, taper. Oh. What did I click? I click on something that I didn't mean to. Let me general add modeling. There you go. Damn shortcut. Understood. Have a good day. Thank you, Edo. So basically this is going to be my main curve. Go to the curve menu, go to geometry, select the taper one. If I click it correctly, select it, taper, Bezier. This is going to be the shape. Before moving it, I'll give it the shape that I want. Is going to be a little bit flat. I can go into this thing and make it flat like this. And if I go into wireframe, you can see that it has a lot of divisions. I can go into the shape, the properties, and lower the division. And it's smoother. Well, not smoother. It's more low poly. Instead of moving this one, I'm going to do a duplication and move the duplication. I can turn on the snap, turn on the volume and closest, because if I do this, the point can snap to the geometry. And I change to center. I always forget which one is the correct one. Snap. There you go. This is snapping. Let me rotate it to the front. Rotate it to the front. There you go. It's ready. The hair is ready. Have it here just in case and start putting it where it belongs. Disable the thing.
Stay home with me.
Duplicate it. Duplications, duplications, and duplications. And when I go to the side, I need to literally go to the side and check if the rotation is following the shape of the head, because normally it isn't, so I have to manually correct that. And I can even go and make a subdivision in the middle just to make it better, like this. And it's now following basically the shape of the head. And that's the idea. Now that I'm looking at the head, she has a very square shaped head. I'll have to change that to make it more rounded. Actually, she has a very thick, big skull. She needs to be a little less big in the shape. This thing in the middle, you can correct it, but if you go into sculpting mode in this version of Blender and try to correct it, it gets messier. It gets even more obvious that you have an error in that part. So using mirror in this version of Blender is mirror with sculpt in this version of Blender is not recommended. It even rhymes. Move. The programs. Sometimes they don't want to do what you want. Also, now that I'm tweaking again the face, I remember that I can do pinch in the corner of the jaw. And I have to turn on the wireframe so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, like this. Just to mark the jawline. Like I say, this model is a mix between the anime style and my previous character that I made. So I want to see how it turns out if I do this combination of styles. You can see we have the jawline a little bit not that sharp. Now that's a proper chin. I need to go into sculpt to correct that. I just wanted to make her more pointing. Well, it's not going to happen, apparently. Yeah, the thick skull. The thing with the 3D programs is that you sometimes have too many options, so you jump around between tools until you can get a tool that get the works done properly, as you imagine, envision, or wherever. Delete. Save. Like I said, the mirror tool with the sculpt tool is not always a good option. Okay, I'm getting way too distracted with this. I'll fix that later. It's kinda working. If I apply the mirror and fix it directly, it will work, but right now it is not working. So, the hair, let's see. The front has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kinda. Okay. I'm missing the one on the side. I can go and make a duplication. Change to bounding box, global, selected, mirror, in global X. So I can have this exact shape, but in this side, and I can tweak it a little bit. So I can tweak it a little bit. My English is so broken that it's almost better if I just talk in a Russian accent instead of my broken Spanish English. It doesn't matter. People understand. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Done. Maybe I have too much on the side, actually. Let me put the reference just so I can compare. Here's the original reference. I'm not going one-to-one because, like I said, it's an old drawing, but I do want to check in comparison the proportions just to see what I can move to make it better. Okay, for the back of the hair, I can go and make a trick. Or just a big shape. I think I'm going to go with a big shape instead of cheating. Mesh. Move it to the side. Mirror. Subdivisions. Rotate it. Then subdivisions. Smooth. No, it's that smooth. No. Smooth. Shade smooth. She now looks like an alien. Actually, I don't have reference from the side. That may be a problem later. I'll do what I can with what I have. Save. Duplicate this one and this is going to go to here, basically. This one. Is that a loading emoji? Did your stream it's loading or what? Okay, I don't know if that's the better way to do this part of the hair, but so far this is my solution, and this is going to be here while I figure it out. It starts to look like a creature tongue. so I just leave it like that and move on. I can go and do the simple ribbon. It's going to be very easy, just a subdivision with this, a duplication, apply the mirror, and this part is going to be bigger basically. Apply this thing, join this thing, smooth this thing, and we have a small ribbon, a bow, or whatever you call it. Like everything else, we can change it later, but for now this is going to be our solution. Maybe here, and also apply a mirror and move it to where it belongs, to the back. She does have another things there.
Don't be shy. Get up and do your stuff. Do it, baby, yeah.
For the dress, I'm going to do the base, like always, using the mirror tool. It's the most used tool in 3D modeling because no one wants to work double, so everyone starts with a mirror modifier. And we add a subdivision and start creating the shape. This dress is going to the top, and in the top is going to be to the insides. Dissolve this. That face. And insert here and extrude to there. It's a short sleeve actually. Something like this. And as you can see, we are starting to see the shape of the dress. In this stage, I can go into the next subdivision level, but it's not necessary yet. Oh, I have to correct that. That can't stay.
Hay muchas cosas que podemos hacer juntos.
Dissolventes? Yeah, that was the fix. Merge clip,
Quédate en casa con YouTube.
center. And also, don't forget to shade smooth so we can see the real surface, not just the polygonal surface. Skirt is almost to that size. What else can I do before going to the next level? I think that's it. Yeah, it's covering the important parts. And it has the basic shape. And I cannot move a lot of the base shape. So basically apply the mirror, apply the surface, re-enter. Now we have the next level topology. Delete the half. And start from here. Mirror. My voice is a little bit too quiet. Okay, let me turn on the volume. Maybe my microphone is actually not very good. My good microphone is very difficult to set up because a lot of how do you say? I have to move a lot of settings. But what I can do, let me know if this volume is better. I added a filter so the voice is louder. And also I will turn down a little bit more the music. And yeah, for your question, QSTOM, for your question, this avatar is not a commission. This avatar is an avatar that I wanted to make before I started doing Vrchat avatars. So it's like a revision of my style now that I have done a lot of work in 3D, and I want to check how my skill has improved thanks to doing a lot of commissions and avatar. I counted so far from February to today. I have around 16 avatars made, so that's a good start. And I want to make even more avatars. I have a couple of commissions in the line, so the streams for me are more like a time for me to make my own avatars, made things that I wanted to make, and show it also to the people that I'm doing avatars. This avatar, if you can get the reference, is based on the Wendy's logo. It's getting there. I'm still working on it. The idea is to have her the mascot of Wendy's, but with my own style. This actually the reference of the drawing. It's a kinda old drawing, but I will try to make it as close as possible just for the sake of the model. And it's getting there because let me show you the original model that this is based on. Well, the first model that I did and didn't go very well. This is the first model. As you can see, those arms are very long. More longer than they should be. But that's the way improvement works. You start learning things and getting better. But this is the first model that I did a long time ago. Yeah, it's very good to have the time. Well, I'm making the time to do this model because actually I kinda full in the commission department, so it's this like almost a therapy session for me to give me time to do the models. Yes, I do have a specific list for the stream. This music is very loud. Now I can hear myself. Yes, I do have a specific list for the stream. My idea after this is going to be creating cute avatars, cute little avatars. For example, like the toaster that I made. The toast. Because one of my ideas is to create a Vrchat world with a small cute food related avatars and have it like a bread that plays guitar, an apple that plays the drums, or something music related fruits. I don't know, it's just an idea, maybe I can change it later, but I decided on the cute avatars because they are very easy to make, and and the stream gives me time to finish those projects in one sitting. Actually, the model that I just showed, the old model, it's an this current model. It's an evolution from that model. I've been using that model and making changes, polishing it, retopologize some parts, making it better, and better, until I got this model that is the current one that I'm using for my characters. I can do a model from scratch, but it's 6-7 hours of work that is not necessary to redo because you already have a base. So why would you want to redo the base? It's just good to do because you can practice your skill with redoing the base topology, but it's not worth it if you have like clients' works and that stuff. Also, well, in my case, I don't want to use bases from other people, so that's why I use my own bases. Okay, the dress is ready. I can make the long sleeves. These are going to be separated, and also the socks. And I can even go and do the shoes before moving on. Instead of selecting by normals, I'm going to select by seam. Shift D to duplicate, click to accept, right button to separate, and I have now the shoes separated from the body in the same place. Now I enter the shoes and delete the top parts because these are not necessary. Shortcut, which one? Control. Always forget the shortcuts. And I think I can even delete these ones. Yeah. Is it too much? I think it's too much. Delete these ones. the geometry is so near to the original that these kind of errors happen. So one solution is to select all the faces, extrude along normals, have a little bit of separation, invert the selection, delete the center. So now you can have your shoes separated from those. Right now I don't have what happened here. Oh. I have to redo it. I forgot to add the bottom part. Okay, Shift D, click, separate, selection, and now I have this correct. Extrude a little bit, inverse, delete the faces. And now what I wanted to do is to create the heels that actually are going to be kind of like this. No, they have to be small, and then this part is going to be the big part. And this part is going to be there you go. I will modify them later, but just to have something, there you go. I think the buttons on screen is called screencast. Let me check. Screencast Blender. I think it's a plugin. Maybe. I don't remember. Right now she looks like a girl with an oversized dress. How to install screencast keys in Blender. Download the link. Let me download it. Let me go into my preferences, add-ons, install, shortcut, showing folder, install, download, shortcuts, boot, and how do I turn it on? Let's hear quick a tutorial. Blah blah blah. Install. Then click on install. Okay, it's ready. Shortcuts boot. Start. Oh, there you go. Well, now you can see the thing. Offset. I want it on the left, it's better. Text color, show buttons. Dock left. Oh. Okay. I'll leave that so you can see what I'm clicking for the future references. Hey, thanks for the comment for adding this. I actually wanted to add it, but I got entangled with another thing, so I forgot. Let me just refresh my YouTube because I not look. Okay, my YouTube stopped. I don't know why, but now it's working. Okay, moving on. I already made the shoes, made the dress. Oh, now I'm going with the sleeves and I'm going to go with the socks. For the sleeves and socks, I'm going to kinda cheat in a sense that I'm going to be adding from the middles. I select the middle rings and select Control and plus from the keyboard so I can create more selection. And for the last parts, for example, I can ignore until here, and for the legs I can ignore until here, but I do need maybe until here. So basically I'm going to, with that selection, duplicate, click, right button, separate. And now I have the socks and the sleeves from my original geometry, so they are like exactly in the same place, and I only need to go and modify the shape that it's bigger in the outside, for example. Scale like this. Well, maybe not that big, but you get the idea. Maybe without this. Yeah, that's a nice hip to waist ratio, like Edo says on the YouTube stream. One thing that I need to take in consideration is that these parts, my goal, these ones, my goal is to make them from a texture this time, not from geometry. So for example, in the case of these parts, maybe they should be a little bit, just a little bit more close to the shape of the arm. And the idea is to have it extrude, have it bigger, and instead when you see the model, it's not going to be a flat surface. It's going to show these details that are going to be made with the texture. That's my idea. Let's see if I can make it work in the end. Also, I don't remember. Yeah, she has an apron. Let me open the references from the actual character because I made this drawing a long time ago, and like you can see, it's just a sketch. So I'm missing in my mind some parts that I don't remember very well. Let me open references. Wendy fan art. Okay, I don't want that. I found a very not safe for work reference. I didn't meant to, that one. but I do want this reference. Let me update it. Image reference, this one. I added, yes, the apron is from the waist to the bottom, and these things, the little details, ornaments or whatever, are going to be directly from the dress, not from the texture, not from the polygon dress. There's something about it that makes her look very chunky. Oh, I think it's the breasts. Actually, they are not in place yet. Yeah, with that, I think it's going to be better because it was very in front, and I didn't mean to be that in front. This is going to be very flat, basically. And for everything else, I can do a correction like this, and even add more geometry later. Yeah, I do think she needs more geometry on the dress, but I'm not ready yet to put that. And also in here, there you go. It's supposed to be the geometry of those things on the sleeves and actually on the dress. And they are going to be actually a little bit to the outside like this. Oh, something happened there. Don't worry, you can ask questions. The only thing is that if I don't answer right away, it's because I'm not looking at the chat. So go on and ask. It's a very appreciated if you have any question. I'll always happy to help. What happened here? Oh, my mistake. Like always. Two, three. Okay, the sleeves, the dress, the shapes, the socks, they are the ones that are not correct. Actually, it's like from here. Disable that thing. The proportional editing. I always forget the name. And actually, as I'm looking at the reference, I've been doing the dress and ignoring the reference of the proportions of the dress. Oh, I know why I was ignoring it, because this reference was in the way and it was covering. Okay, proportional editing, and let's move the dress a little bit up. Little by little, because I already made the dress, so I don't want to mess it up. No, no, no. The I didn't start in February to learn Blender. I I have been using 3D programs since like 2012 or something like that, and I started using Blender a long time ago. But I haven't used Blender as my main tool until February. I have been using a lot of 3D programs, Maya, 3D Max, Cinema 4D, Blender, but my main tool for modeling was Maya. But I wanted to learn Blender because it's free and the new improvements that Blender has, it's like crazy good. So I wanted to invest. I invest all February in learning the tool, so now I can have everything on my mind on what tool do I need to do the things that I already know how to do in Maya and the other programs. That was my goal and I did it and I'm here right now using Blender as a second nature basically. Yes, Blender is free because it's based on the open software ideology that all the software is supposed to be free and you can take the code and modify it as you please. So Blender Foundation it's a non-profit organization that makes Blender and it's only supported by donations basically. Like I said, Blender it's a very old program that has been improving a lot on the past years and it's a very very good tool. it's it's almost an industry standard in a way because all these small indie companies that do 3D it's always like it's a must that they use Blender because the 3D programs they are very very expensive. Only companies like Pixar and DreamWorks can actually invest on the Maya and the other programs because the license are way out of our league in terms of price. So doing things like, for example, freelance, it's better to have it Blender than a 3D program that costs almost your life and a kidney. No, actually, I haven't donated to Blender because I don't know how. I'm imagining they have like a part where you can donate it, but I haven't looked into it. What I have been doing is buying add-ons that people make. So in a way, it's supporting the Blender community, and it's a good thing too. My add-ons right now are are these ones. The B painter, it's almost a mini substance painter. The hair tool that I just starting to learn, and a rigging course that I download on how to rig characters because my goal is to also know how to rig at least decent in Blender. Okay, now the dress is better. I don't know if I like the front and back, but the sides I do like how the sides. Well, from the front I like how the sides of the dress looks, but from the back and front I don't like how the dress looks. I maybe have to change it later. Damn, 2 hours already, almost. Okay. This went slower than I expected, so basically, because this model it's important and I want to finish it, I'm going to continue on the next stream too until I finish it. It's almost there. I can start doing the hair, the crazy hair. How can I make the crazy hair? That's my question. I can do if I duplicate this one and make it go on here and apply the rotations. No. Okay, I'll leave it like that, but I'll apply simple deform, bend in C, in Y, in X. Okay, it's in X. But why is it moving to the side? Oh, it's because of the rotation. Yeah, it's because of the rotation. 90. Okay. My idea is that if you have the duplications like this, you can go something like this. Okay. Maybe. There you go. More narrow. You see what I'm trying to do. And in here, if I select only one, I can modify that only one and do the crazy hair. Well, kinda, because I'm looking at the results and it's not it's not as good. This technique is kinda weird because it works better if it's a geometry, not with a curve. The curves are very special, as you can say. I have this other tool, the hair tool, but I haven't learned it yet. But the idea, if I understand correctly, is that if you have geometry like this, for example, and I downgrade to 8 maybe, and with, I don't know, let me disable the faces and maybe with these divisions, and you mark sharp, then select it and apply curves from grid surface. You can see that it creates the curves, and you can start messing with the shape, for example, and you can have a very good results. But right now I haven't understand it at full, so I'm not using it because for example, my question is, why do they go crazy in there? And if I delete this thing, does the options disappear? I have several questions about the tool yet, so I cannot use it. Or maybe I can learn it between the streams and I can use it on the next one actually. Let's see. So far we have the shape base on the front. We have the ribbons, we have the dress, we have the sleeves, we have the socks, we have the shoes, and in the shoes we can actually add the little bit of shape here, and we can add the that thing. I don't know what's the name of that thing, but we can add it. I can do it from this thing. Let's separate it. Let's subdivide it. No. Separate by selection. Subdivisions. And start doing extrude. And then extrude. 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 Just a simple trick trying to make that part. Actually, this part in the drawing, it's way bigger than the actual model that I have. It's rounder also, so I'll have to think about how I'm going to add geometry without making it crazy. I don't have like a side view of the shoes, but like normal shoes, I assume they are not pointy, so I have to round up these corners. And always at the end, in shoes, I'll add what's it called? Volume to the shoes, because right now they are only planes. And they need to have volume, like for example, select by normals, disable the proportional, go to faces, extrude along normals, and have it like this to have volume. And also in the auto smooth part, I need to the clear custom split normals, so I can reassign how my normals are going to be separated, so I can have sharp edges in the places that I need, for example in the shoes or in the top, so it's even clear when you are looking at the model that there's a change of shape, not like this that I want it to be very smooth. For example, in the ribbons, I do want to have auto smooth and only the parts where it change shapes to be marked and everything else to be smooth. What else can I do? Uh, the hair is definitely going to be for the next stream, and for the clipping mesh. Okay, it conserves the that I wanted to just use it as as a dummy. Meanwhile, I'll to have something as a placeholder for the next part. I actually have to think very well because the they do occupy a lot of space, so maybe I have to model it like this, like in a diagonal. Oh, actually, you know what? There's another character. It's called Unity Chan. It's a character made by Unity, an anime girl. That character has very similar hairstyle. If I apply this thing, and I go doing this, subdivision surface, just to have something not as a final thing. Yeah, something like that, just to have an idea of the model. Oh, also I can do the apron before finishing. We can select it from here and select this, shift duplicate, separate, click. The apron does have a little bit of thickness, so create extrude along normals. Now it's thicker. I can even go and it has the details from here, so the same extrude along normals. It's not letting. Okay, there you go, like this. And now the apron is going to have like I said, like the other models, other parts of the model is going to have the details in the texture. Well, that's the idea. I hope that it works out. And just for having a little bit of color before we finish the stream, I'm going to assign only materials. At the end, they are not going to be the final materials, but I want to have an idea of the color. Display. We go into flat material and we'll be assigning the colors. New material, blue, perfect blue, even perfect. Assign the blue is like something like that, a baby blue, maybe less. I cannot assign right now the stripes, it will take me time. The sleeves are actually like the socks, red and white. So basically I'm going to be adding the red. It's a very bright red. Okay, the shoes, interesting. What color are the shoes? White. And the shoes are white, so I'll add white shoes and a little bit of black. Black. Well, it's almost a gray, not a black. Never use full black. It's not a color that works well with illumination in the models. And also never use full white. Also try to use gray. They are not very good color combinations in the programs. They mess things up. And obviously the hair is not going to be red. It's going to be more of a maybe orange-ish color like this. Hair. The ribbons are going to be the same blue. Each piece of hair has to be hair. Oh, she's a punk. She has a different color in some places. This can be black, except for the eyes. This has to be blue. And the lips. Let me see the geometry. It has to be red. Maybe the red of the hair. Or maybe just another red, actually. But way more subtle. Not that crazy red. Something like that. And obviously I need to change the whites of the interior of the eye. There you go. This is going to be assigned as white. Well, in this case it's going to be pure white. Because that white color is reserved for the eyes and things. You can see the the hair inside her head. Disable the wireframe. And just for the sake of like my other characters that I made on stream, I'm going to be adding the trick in the nose. New assign black. Okay, this is way too big. Even smaller. Okay, maybe it's too big for her. It's actually better if I maybe I put it on the top instead of the front. Do the same trick but in here. What's the main? No, it's because my main line is actually this. This is my main line actually, but it's not it's not straightforward, so it may not work like I want to. Nombre Campequi, ¿cómo crees que soy gringo? Soy mexicano, más que nada. Hablo en inglés solo porque es más fácil de que haya más gente que le interese esto. Creo yo. Mira, ahora sí se parece a mis monitas. Ahora ahí va, ahí va. Quizás la cabeza la tiene muy adelante. And I need to put her some underwear. She doesn't have right now. But so far I think it's working. I'll change it to blue whites. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to add pseudo stripes, not the final ones. Assign. It's not working. Oh, that's why it's not working. I select the wrong one. Assign new. You write assign. And the same with this. Sorry. Just to give us an idea on the pseudo final look, on how the character is going to look. A little bit of shadows. Like I said, I need to fix the hair. I need to check how I'm going to be creating the actual hair, final hair. Right. A shout out to Natsuru that I didn't saw him in this stream, but he always is on these streams. Maybe he just was too tired because his time zone is very different from mine, but he's always looking forward to the streams. If you see this stream later, Natsuru, hello. Mirror. Este para atrás, borracho. And that's almost the shape that I want. What's Rose? GGHRGF. You sound like a fake account, but what's Rose about it? Well, this is the model so far. This is the idea. I have to obviously make a lot of more things to make it better, but I really like how it's turning out. Also, the idea of mixing my style, my previous style, with the anime style to have it work uh, like a cartoon character. It's very, very good. The anime technique for the eyes, it's showing that it's a very good technique. Maybe let me check how does it look. Yeah, maybe I'm going to delete this, and also no, connected only. There you go. Her beautiful bug eyes. Big and bug eyes. It's almost like my own drawings, kinda. Obviously, it's not the same, but it's getting there. What if I turn on what's cavity? No, I don't want to see that. Why does it? Oh, it's the shadows. Okay, just a subtle shadow. If I add a light, does it change? No, it doesn't change anything. Gimme, 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 gimme todo el power. This character works very well with the toon shading, not with the realistic one. For the realistics, I do need to make the eyes like the first style, not this style. So, so far, let me, in comparison, maybe at the end I will select all the geometries and make her hip, her waist smaller, because I'm looking that he looks chunkier on the model. But it's not a problem. At the end, I need to do a lot of tweaking because it's just like a process, not the final model. And if you have any more comments or ideas that I can add to her, I'll let me know, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks for watching the stream. Let's see final questions. Nothing. So thanks for watching the stream, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye bye.